We have now had another tragedy that hits the streets of London, and we could say there is an escalation of incidents in London. But is there? Or is it because more attacks are getting through because of the lack of not powers, but resources? It was a terror attack on the Muslim community just at the end of Ramadan, and we now need to unite more than ever. And I have to say, I admire the people that managed to grab hold of that guy at Finsbury Park and hand him over to the police and not hurt him really bad. And we have to protect members of the Muslim community up and down the country. Forget the division, forget the way of thinking of some that all terrorists are Muslims. They are not. They could have hurt that guy really, really bad. And this just shows that many people out there are completely wrong about Muslims, peace-loving Muslims, and attacking them with derogatory speech has to stop. Otherwise, these attacks will go on. But why are the attacks escalating? The leader of ISIS has been killed. ISIS are now being pushed back in Syria. Is there an onset of now white supremacist groups? But if we hear the end of ISIS, what, if any, threat will be next? White supremacists now coming out and targeting Muslims in revenge attacks maybe. Will we see the end of that? Now, I've been talking to one of my helpers most of the day, and today we have come up with a few theories, and we hope we are not right. We are massive believers in karma, but I promised I wouldn't say anything more on that. But we think we may begin to see a threat that is closer to home, closer than we think. But the fact there isn't enough police has been criticised even by London Mayor Sadiq Khan.
Lobbying for more resources for the Met Police. My message to the government is the plans you have to make the further cuts of £400 million, don't do it. My message to the government is the plans you have to change the police funding formula so London loses more money, don't do it. My message to the government is we need to get the right level of funding for a capital city. I've been reassured by the Commissioner and by Gold Command that the borough commanders across London will be able to use leave from officers, including, by the way, calling some officers back off leave, to make sure we've got an increased presence across London so all Londoners can feel safe. And at this particular time, you'll appreciate why those of the Islamic faith who are going about their places of worship, particularly in the evenings, need that additional reassurance.
So they're going to be 400 million in cuts next year. This can't, he's right, this can't happen. People have come together in the Grenfell fire, come together in the Manchester attacks, and now the Finsbury Park mosque attacks. Let's come together on the streets, social media and in person. The police cuts just cannot continue. Theresa May says she has given more power to police and counter-terrorism. I say it's not about power. We need resources. The police need resources, bodies on the ground. Everyday policing has to be backed up by not having police on the beat, not walking around communities. We can't heal that division. Now, I predicted something about 2 years ago that would happen on our streets. I said we'll have a civil war. And I know it's extreme, yes, but we need police on the ground to heal that wound. If you make cuts in the community, endanger people's security, it will turn around and bite you in the arse. Now, I've had another episode planned for today that goes into more detail on another subject, but it can wait. But we started Brexit talks today. Theresa May still hasn't got an overall majority. I think we're fast becoming a laughingstock to the EU. The Queen's speech is now nearly due, and I've done some digging on Theresa May, and she has things in place that maybe a few don't know. But that is what's jeopardising our strength on Brexit, I think. But like I said, that's for another day. We are in a mess. Apparently, members of the local council still haven't been seen at Grenfell. They've gone out, but no one's seen them. But it took a few days as well for the £5 million to get through to people, even though Theresa May said people were receiving it. Residents were only getting handed £10 each, and we've all seen that. And this video from a resident surfaced about the promise of rehousing in the area.
So I'm Mesrab Kasemjan, I'm from level 17, 141. I got out with my auntie, but just before I left I knocked on my neighbor's door in 143. I saw my neighbor Khadija, and she, I told her to run, there's a fire. She went back to get her husband, and we saw her husband outside, but she didn't make it. We've just actually found out, it's confirmed that she's died. And her husband, who's you know, in a terrible place right now. He's kind of losing it. They put him in an old people's home.
So they didn't even rehouse him?
They didn't rehouse him. They put him in an old people's home. He's not going to get rehoused now. That's it. So they're doing some disgusting things.
They're cutting corners. Yeah.
They're cutting corners, and we're all really scared for what's going to happen to us. There was another guy. They took him out of the hotel and they sent him to Peterborough, or sorry, Preston. Yeah.
Why did they send him there?
Like I don't know. He's there now. They just left him there. That's it. You know, he's finished. So yeah, we're really worried. And yeah, they're basically putting pressure on people. Like if you don't accept their offer, then you're making yourself potentially homeless. So
I see. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Are the government really for us? Things and cuts are being made and our safety is being placed in danger. Will there come a time when people will start taking the law into their own hands? We need to reassure our communities and their need to feel safe, and the government can do that by placing more police on the ground, a better police presence. You can have all the power in the world, but if you haven't got enough bodies to fight the baying crowd, you've lost all hope. Something has to be done, and done very quickly. But first, we have to get rid of all this hate. Because as I always say, and you know what I'm going to say, united, we can have a better society and a better political system. And I really do believe that. What do you think about what's going on? Will we ever see the end of these attacks? Will we ever see the end of the division? Why not comment below, have your say. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and don't miss out on the discussion. Thanks for watching these videos, and I will see you on Friday, maybe Thursday, if I can get it out quick enough. And it will contain information about Theresa May and Brexit that you may want to hear.